Today, we're diving deep into a dish that's pretty much a legend in Taiwanese winters. We're talking about a bubbling cauldron that's packed with history, a little bit of medicine, and a whole lot of comfort. Let's get right into it.
You know that feeling, right? When the cold wind really starts to bite and you just can't seem to shake that chill deep in your bones? What do you reach for? Well, in Taiwan, they've got a very specific and, let me tell you, very delicious answer.
And that answer is Lamb Hot Pot, or as it's known, Yang Rou Lu. But this is so much more than just a meal. It's really a full-body experience, a tradition that's all about fighting off the cold and warming you up from the inside out.
Now, when it comes to winter comfort foods in Taiwan, there's this friendly, but let's be honest, pretty fierce rivalry. In one corner, you've got the super famous ginger duck, but in the other corner, we have our star for today, the beloved Lamb Hot Pot, and it is a serious contender for that comfort food crown.
To really get what Lamb Hot Pot is all about, we have to go back in time. And I mean way, way back. Because its story doesn't start in a restaurant kitchen. Nope. It starts in a doctor's medical book, almost 2,000 years ago.
And this is what's so wild. The original version of this dish was actually a prescription. The legendary Han Dynasty physician Zhang Zongjing didn't create this soup as a meal. He created it as a remedy. It was prescribed to people who were feeling cold, weak, or tired. The lamb itself was considered a key medicinal ingredient.
The journey this dish took is just incredible. It's a perfect example of how medicine can evolve into a cultural touchstone. So it starts out in the Han Dynasty as a personal cure. Then, fast forward a few centuries to the Qing Dynasty when migrants brought this tradition over to Taiwan. And that's where it totally transformed. It adapted to local ingredients like ginger and sesame oil and became the communal, bubbling hot pot that everyone knows and loves today.
Which brings us to today, where in the world of Lamb Hot Pot, a great debate is always simmering. It's this awesome, flavorful rivalry that basically splits fans right down the middle into two distinct camps, Team Red versus Team Clear.
So what's the difference? Well, on one side you have the red braised style. We're talking a dark, super rich, thick broth that's all about sesame oil and that savory fermented bean paste, and it often uses this chewy, skin-on black goat. Then you have the clear stew style. It's light, golden, with this gentle, herbal flavor that comes from Chinese herbs and veggies, and it really lets the tender lamb shine. They're two completely different worlds, born from the same idea.
And you really can't talk about the red braised style without talking about the Okayama district in Kaohsiung. Their local dobanjang, that fermented bean paste, is the absolute heart and soul of this version. It gives the broth this incredibly unique, savory, fragrant, and just slightly sweet flavor that's famous all over Taiwan.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter which style you prefer, because they both have the same ultimate goal, to warm you up. And it's not just because you're eating hot soup. The real secret goes all the way back to that ancient wisdom, to the principles of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM.
At the very core of this entire dish is a fundamental concept from TCM. Different foods have different thermal properties. And lamb, well, it's classified as one of the most powerful warming foods you can possibly eat.
So what does that actually mean? Well, think of it like this. Eating lamb is like flipping a switch on your body's own internal furnace. It kicks you into self-heating mode, helping to push out the cold and generating this deep, lasting warmth that you feel all the way to your fingers and toes.
And the benefits don't stop there. Lamb is just packed with high-quality protein and iron. So in TCM, that makes it a powerhouse for nourishing the blood. It's seen as a recharger for your whole system, perfect for when you're feeling run down and need to fight off fatigue and get your energy back.
The clear stew style gets its signature flavor from what you could call an herbal support team. And these ingredients aren't just for taste. Each one has a specific role. You've got Danggi to help boost blood circulation, Huang Qi acting as a defense master for your immune system, and then goji berries and red dates for a little nourishment and sweetness to balance everything out. Okay, so beyond the fascinating history and all the health benefits, the real magic of Lamb Hot Pot truly is the experience itself. It's a ritual of togetherness where how you eat is every bit as important as what you eat.
So, how do you do it right? Okay, first you toss in the sidekicks, things like frozen tofu and tofu skin, which are basically sponges designed to soak up all that amazing broth. Next, and this is key, you mix the magic dipping sauce using fermented tofu curd. And finally, you complete the whole picture with a side of those fragrant sesame oil noodles. That right there, that's perfection.
And let me be perfectly clear about this sauce. the fermented tofu sauce, the furujiang. It is absolutely non-negotiable. It's salty, savory, slightly sweet flavor, cuts right through the richness of the lamb, and just elevates every single bite. Honestly, skipping the sauce is like missing a huge part of the experience.
So, when you put it all together, Lamb Hot Pot is so much more than just a dish. It's a centuries-old tradition, it's a medicinal practice, and it's a modern ritual that brings people together around a table to find warmth and connection, especially during those cold winter months.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final, very important question. When that winter chill finally hits and you're craving a pot of that bubbling comfort, which side of the Great Divide are you on? Are you going for the bold, fragrant red braised or the gentle, herbal clear stew? Something to think about.